Alright, Real Wargamer here. and Soult in Portugal. It's a Vivictus magazine game, Volume 1 in the Marshals series. This is Soult 1809. I'm going to try to show a major battle. I'm wondering why my phone recording screen does not look right, but yeah, push on here. It's a French operation. I'm going to try to show a full-size battle. So I guess I'll go through the operation step. I'm going to activate this force here for movement. Flip him over. This is Loison. He has a strategic value of 0. That is a modifier, so it won't have any play. And let me tell you what I'm thinking here. So I'm going to move Loison. Loison does still have to do a actually, this entire thing could be null and void if I don't roll high enough. Oh, man. Ah, okay, good. I got it. I don't want this video to be a waste. Okay, so 5 is good. So this is a command test. He adds a strategic value, which is 0. Like I said, it doesn't have any effect. His force that he wants to move, which I'm about to show in a minute, is not made up of just cavalry, so there's no addition there, but he does have a line of communication back to the Commander-in-Chief Soult. So he does actually add 1, so 5 becomes 6. What this means is there's a little table, tiny table here, but basically he gets all of his movement points. I needed that. We want all of our movement points to get to... Oh, actually they might have made it... Actually, I guess they would have made it even if they had half the movement points. But if they had rolled a 1, alright, I guess it's just a 1 in 6 chance of them not moving at all. Okay, alright, so what I'm going to do now, since they passed their command test, this is the entire force that Loison has. He has 2 artillery units, he has 2 cavalry units, and he has 2 infantry units. These are all on the off-map display. What's relevant here is the 2 infantry units. So Soult, yeah, him. He has a current strength of 3 and a current morale of 4. And then Hodele has a current strength of 4 and a current morale of 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave Soult behind, right? I'm going to put him back here. He's going to stay back in Oporto, and the reason is because, let me explain this. The only reason I'm leaving Soult back, it's not to garrison Oporto in this case. It is because I don't want the whole force to move. So if I had moved Soult and Hodele, that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 strength points. 11 strength points means that the force as it moves along these connections would draw an extra fatigue marker, which is what I don't want to do. Loison himself will be able to put back 1 fatigue marker, but I still don't want excessive fatigue on the force. That's actually why I'm leaving 1 behind, a force behind in Oporto. I want 2 artillery units because I want to get the 2 artillery fires in the combat. I actually want the 2 cavalry to make sure that I would like to maximize my cavalry, because I do not want to give any bonus or advantage to the other side, the Anglo-Allied side, in cavalry. I would like to not do that. It still may not happen how I want it, but I'm not going to leave cavalry behind for that reason. So I left the 3 strength unit infantry unit behind. Okay, so this is the force I'm moving. Loison moves 1 zone there along a normal route, a normal road route. So they're going to draw. Mix up my fatigue markers, draw randomly. So there's always 1 just for the movement itself. That's 1 fatigue. And then there are modifiers, so I do not have the force density increases. Actually, that's it. And then we're going to move from here into the area with the Anglo-Allied force. They're going to draw another one just for the normal connection to. At this point, Loison is going to use his commander ability to put that back into the mix. As a commander, you can do that. That's a one and only thing for this operation. And now we draw one more. I'm drawing one more, which luckily it's 0. But that one more is the fact that the zone they entered is enemy occupied. Okay, so they took one fatigue altogether. I'll leave those markers out for now. Now Loison is in the area. Now, he in fact is going to do a combat to pass, or combat for passage, in passage. I can't remember what the rule's called, but he's going to attack right away. It'll be a penalty, I think, of two forced passage is what they call it. So he's electing to do a forced passage. Okay, so now they handle the movement and the related fatigue. Now we go to the combat itself. So now first step is to turn the concerned units over. So Loison is over here. Gonna grab my battle marker, put my battle marker there. And this is relevant, has combated. So in this turn, Wellesley has already combated, which actually I should leave him inverted, which I know looks a little, well, it would look funny to me according to how I normally play, but I think I do need to show him as inverted. So I'm going to grab his forces. Oh, he had, okay. I'd already forgot. I mean, I knew Wesley had a large force, but he actually has, I'll leave the baggage trains off to the side. He has the major force. He's got, wow, okay, this is going to be a good sized battle. 3 infantry. This is definitely going to be a big size battle. He's got 3 artillery. And he's got 3 cavalry. Okay, this is major. All right, so there it is, major battle. By the way, I can't remember if all defenders have to participate. I know all attackers. Well, if I remember correctly, all attackers do not need to participate, but I can't remember if defenders. Anyways, both sides are going all in this case, in fact. Okay, so we turn the concerned units over, potential to withdraw cavalry. It doesn't matter here because neither force is all cavalry, so that wouldn't matter. Okay, we do need to determine the amplitude of combat. That's kind of the volume of combat here. So now let me show this amplitude of combat. Here's a numeric track. Oh, I'll start at 0. Amplitude of combat. So Hodele again is 4, and then it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 1 for each of the cavalry and artillery. That's 8 for the French side. Now we have to add to that the Anglo-Allied as well. Look at that. I'm going to be well off my chart, I think. Alright, so this is Sherbrooke. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh. Alright, I'll show you what I'm going to do. It's 22 for the Anglo-Allied side. 22 plus 8 is obviously 30, goes beyond our track here. I'm going to use the track. It's off screen because it's underneath the plastic. The track for volume 2 goes up to 36, so I'm going to mark 30 off screen. The amplitude of combat is 30. Okay, now I'm picking up here detailed game sequence. Determine amplitude of combat. So it's 30. What it means is we're using the far right column on the amplitude of combat table, 26 to 30. Okay. Play any event markers. We're actually not going to play any event markers. Each side has 3, but we're not going to play any. No. Artillery shots. We are going to have artillery shots. Each one's going to fire. They hit on a 4, 5, or 6. So I'll do the French artillery first. They have 2 artillery units. That misses. First one misses. Second one hits. So that's 1. So I'm going to... Here, I'll put it here because we're going to add that. And then the Anglo Allies have 3. Miss, hit. Okay, so each side got an artillery hit. That's going to be a modifier. Calculate the strength ratio of the stronger attack. We know it's 22 to 8. 22 to 8. So it's 2 to 1. So I think the Anglo Allies get 2 more as a modifier. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. Determine the head unit. Attacker first. So the French are the attackers. They are going to put Hodelet as the lead unit. So the lead unit is going to go on this track here as we compute the combat potential. All right, and then the Anglo Allies are going to take Sherbrooke, their star unit there. They start at 0 as well. Okay, so we determined our head unit for each side, attacker first. Now we list other CP modifiers. Now we go over here to modifiers are here. Add the modifiers to events. We didn't play any. Add the bonus for artillery shots. Okay, so we're gonna factor these in now. The French go up 1 for their modifier. We remember that the Anglo Allies had 1 artillery hit as well, so he goes up 1. Then we go to add the value of the strength ratio. That's the remaining 2 there. The Anglo Allies go up 2 more to 3, like that. Now we add the morale of the head unit. So Sherbrooke's current morale is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Hodelet's is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we added the morale of the head unit. We add the SV, the strategic value of any commander in the stack, right? So Loison has 0. Adding 0, no change. Wellesley has a 2, so the Anglo Allies get up 2, plus 2 up to 10, like that. Add the defensive value of the zone for the defender only. This is normal clear terrain, so it has no effect. By the way, I think I keep missing this because it's not on the play. We were supposed to determine, I believe we were supposed to determine routes of retreat. Which does raise the question of whether the French could retreat north. I don't know about that. So I'll put the French route of retreat there. I think I was supposed to put the axes of retreat there. Defensive value is nothing because it's a clear terrain. Subtract 2 if the stack has no axis of retreat. That's why I always remember when I get to the modifier. Subtract 1 if the stack has a back to the river. Subtract 2 if the stack carries out a forced passage. The French I'm subtracting 2 because the French are executing a forced passage. And demoralization, no. That's funny. I thought there was a has combated modifier. Why is there no has combated modifier? I thought that was factoring. Okay, so now we just add a random 1d6. So the Anglo Allies roll a 3, 1, 2, 3, and the French roll they want to roll as high as they can. There we go. They got a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you roll a 1d6 to each side. So now we compare. So right away we know the winner is the Anglo Allies have 1. They have a higher CP. And we want the difference. So the difference is 5. Difference is 5. So now we're going to look down here. We're going to cross-reference the difference of CP, just 5 or 6 there. with the amplitude of combat. That's why we marked that earlier. What we have is a 2 and a 3. It's actually a good example of battle right here. I'm going to move this off to the side. So 2 is the winner, right? So this is important. The Anglo-Allies won, and yet they still took 2 losses. I don't think there's any way, I don't recall any reason to reduce those. So on the off-map display, so here's the French off-map display. Just off the screen is the Anglo-Allied order of battle display. I'm going to subtract. The first loss has to come from the head unit. So I'm taking 1 off of Sherbrooke's strength, and I'm going to give the other loss to Paget, another infantry unit, like that. And then the loser loses 3. The first one has to go to Hodelet, and then he's got 2 more, so he's going to ooh. All right, let's just say in this case, let's just say he's well, not just say, but he's going to take 2 more losses in 1 artillery and 1 cavalry. So that's so we resolved the melee by comparing and looking up the results. We applied the losses. First loss goes to the head unit. Now we carry out any retreats. So the French lost, and then so let me put these guys back here, and then on the table. So we cross-referenced 5 with 30 to get 2-3. 2 is the winner, 3 is the loser in losses, and here's the retreat in number of zones 2. So Loison, I can take these guys off of put them back on the side display. Loison would go back. The first one has to be along the axis of retreat, and then they have to retreat 1 more. He retreats right back to Oporto, like that. Wellesley is already marked as has combated. Oh, and because there was a retreat, the French would actually test morale. Test demoralization. I don't know if 1 is good or bad. I think 1 is good. Just do this last step here. It's last step, demoralization. At the end of his retreat, the losing player rolls 1d6. Add to the result the value of the distance. So he's going to add 2, a distance of the retreat, and compare this result with the morale of his head unit. So the head unit was 4. Yeah, 4. Hodelet. Actually, would it be? I guess it would be the current morale. Oh, actually, his current morale is still 4. He lost a strength step, but it's still 4. Okay, so it's 1 plus 2 for the length of retreat is 3. Compares that to his current morale of 4. If the result's greater than morale, it's demoralized. Okay, so he wants low. So he is not demoralized because the modified roll is 3, which is less than the current morale of the head unit in that battle. So they retreated. They took 3 step losses, but they were not demoralized. And that is let me see if there's any. When you turn your units back to the front side, all these guys would go back to the Anglo-Allied display. Wellesley still still activated. Still activated. Remove the fatigue. Flip Loison and flip him and invert him because he's. Oh, but the other unit has not activated. The unit left behind is not activated. So I could leave it like that so I can see that. And then Wellesley goes back in the area. He still has combated, so Marker's still there, and then all his units would go back off to his display. That is basically one full combat with all arms, with all 3 arms. The only thing I'm not entirely sure of is what the effect of having already combated this turn had on that combat for the defender in this case. That I'm not sure of.